listen.
No, they don't. They don't. But I love to
tell
stories. They tell stories. No,
That's a good one.
It is. It's true. You guys tell
it's
stories,
true.
and
They're
it's your life
storytellers.
stories. They're
It's
storytellers, and I love it. I'm here for it.
She
Oh, she cannot
can't hide
hide
it.
anything that she. Let me tell you, everything is.
And if you make eye contact with her in the middle of that, you're done.
But you know what?
She-
just like my mom.
It's just the eyes. It always makes me laugh. She'll be like.
Listen.
So I always joke around. I'm always like, you always try to like remember things, and she's not perfect, but she's amazing. Hey guys, welcome to Claude & Co. On today's episode, I always say that I'm excited for every episode, but this one is a very special one because we have some very special people here, and I am going to love the conversation that is going to take place, and it is called Lana.
What our moms never told us.
This one always resonates with me because I am raising my girls, and this is like multi-generational here, and we have multicultural here. These topics can be a little bit taboo and within the culture, within the religion, and they're things that we wish our moms told us. So let's get started.
We should also say that we're in a new setting. This is not your house.
That's
this
right.
This is Titi Fuji's house, where you spent a lot of your childhood years.
That's right. My titi lives now in the Lower East Side / Chinatown area, and this apartment is very special to me. We used to do Thanksgiving here, a lot of conversations, if only the walls could talk. Yeah. And so I'm so happy that you guys are here. This is Fuji, Fulgencia Rios Rivera. Titi, how old are you?
80.
She's going to be 81 this year.
Yes.
Lots of wisdom. I was very blessed from a young age to be surrounded by very strong, powerful, wise women. And this is my mom's older sister. And she was born 1941, guys. So we have quite a few different
That's
takes
amazing.
of, yeah, right? It's wild. As my
think that was
children
a
say,
thought.
you were born in the 1900s? So this is my mom, Nilda Alicea Felix. And mommy is how old?
68 going on 69.
We got some good genes, people, very good genes. And I am Claudette, as you guys know, Claude, and I was born in 1980, I'm 41. My mom and her sister are both Puerto Rican. I am Puerto Rican and Ecuadorian, and this is Lana Hawatme. I love saying her last name. How old are you, Lana?
I am 28 by the time this episode airs.
That's right.
Yeah, I will be 28.
She could have almost been my kid.
I mean, I really hope you weren't having a child in 94.
Yeah, no. I would, yeah, no.
No.
So yeah, and Lana, what is your background?
My father is Jordanian from the Middle East, and my mom's Iraqi, also from the Middle East.
Yeah. So we have quite
There are differences, but a lot of things are
Similar.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
She recently hung out with my mom, and I was like, God, why did I do this? Because it was like, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, us too.
We
And
have
we're
so much in common.
or maybe we have a little bit of Puerto Rican in us.
And maybe I have a little bit of Jordanian in me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe so.
That's funny. All right.
To me, is women are women.
That's right.
And no matter where you come from, we all could share in different ways
Yes.
what we go through as we grow up as children. So to me, is no matter where you come from, what national
background.
you have,
Yeah.
But
we
the
all kind of relate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
of
share
course.
similar-
Upbringing.
Which brings me to the topic of one of the things that are very taboo in when you grow up as a young girl is when you begin to menstruate, when you have your period. And when talking to so many women, it is mind-blowing to me, because I had a very different experience with my mom, how much wasn't shared from the mothers to the daughters. Thankfully, my mom did share a lot with me, but my mom and my aunts had such a different experience and story. Tell me your experience, Titi.
My
first.
experience was horrible, really.
I hear this
It
a
was.
lot.
It
When
was.
you got your period.
I got my period, I think it was 11 and a half, 11 and a half, gone to 12. And I really didn't, I knew because, hanging out in school with the girls. So that's how I really learned what it was,
Yeah.
with boys and things like that. But my mother talking to me about it, no.
Never.
No. I knew because of my girlfriends, not because of my mother telling me.
Yeah.
So I was scared, but I hid it from my mother for 3 days.
That you got your period?
Yes.
Oh wow.
That's
funny.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So my mother found out one day I got up and my pajamas were stained, and that's how she found out. Our Lord,
And then what happened then?
she said, excuse me, here, put this on.
And that was it.
That was it.
Mommy had a similar experience. Same mom.
In my case, I was much younger than her.
Yeah.
So I was like 9.5.
Yeah, which
So
is on
That's really
Yeah.
when
It
I
is
was
now.
9.5, girls in school were not talking about that.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't have the experience of having
The
sharing
girlfriend,
anything
yeah.
with girlfriends or talking
is
about
young.
this at
Yeah.
all. So I didn't know anything. I was jumping rope in front of 676 Water Street, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I went up. And when I went to wipe, there was blood, and I started to cry because I thought I cut myself. How I thought I cut myself, I have no idea.
I'm not laughing at that, I promise.
I think about it now.
We
I'm saying,
laugh.
why
We
did I
have
think
to.
I cut myself? But
That's
in
what
my
I'm
Because
head-
there's no previous conversation about how
Right,
possibly.
and not only that, whenever you saw blood, it was because you got wounded or you got
Yeah,
hurt or you
yes.
got cut.
Yes.
So the only thing I can think of is, oh my God, I got cut. But
As a mom now,
I
I'm
want to hug you, like.
I'm a mom of a 9-year-old, and that breaks my heart, makes me laugh, breaks my heart, and makes me want to like.
and it's crazy because I remember my sister-in-law at the time, Aide, Heidi and Lisa and Billy's mom
Yeah.
was at the house, and my mom again, she just gave me the.
Yeah,
big
but
old-
how did she do it? How did she
No,
tell
no,
you?
in the bathroom. Open the door. She goes, put this on, and she gave me a little
But
garter.
tell it in Spanish. Eso pasa todo.
No, she said to me, eso le pasa a todas las muchachas.
What does
That
mean?
happens to
This
every
happens to
girl,
every
every girl here.
Yeah.
And
And then my sister-in-law came in and she helped me learn how to put the little.
garter, they had a little garter.
Yeah.
during
With
that
safety
time.
pins.
No, mine was not safe.
Mine was with safety pins.
You had like the washable cloth?
Oh, I wash it.
It's where you
no.
insert something. It had like a little safety pin to keep it in place.
Yeah, you.
Not a safety pin.
Well,
In
she
her case,
did.
had
No,
safety
I
pin.
did.
My little garter
That's-
had these little, like little things that you put the Kotex through and you pulled it and.
Like the garter bird, something like a garter bird.
You guys didn't have always?
No.
I had Kotex.
That was the only brand that was out there.
Mom, I again, as a 9-year-old, I cannot imagine that. That makes me feel all kinds of feelings. And it just, again, brings about like, why did they tell you? But again, it's cultural. You don't, I don't know the reasoning, but I'm assuming she didn't do it to hurt you. She didn't do
No,
it to,
it was just not done.
yeah.
I think
until,
it's accepting the fact that your like daughter's going into like womanhood a little, because that's how it is for us a little bit.
How was your
Because my mom
experience?
was like, oh my God, like now you really need to be careful. And I was like first of all,
How
I'm
old are
11
you?
years old. It's like the summer. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm in like large. Nothing has changed since then. I'm in like black sweatsuits because I'm like, I have this huge pad on, and I had older cousins, so I know they wore tampons, and I was like, Mom, I want to wear a tampon. She was like, you can't wear a tampon. It's gonna take your virginity. But and I was like,
Yes.
wait, I'm sorry, what?
yeah, like she was like, your tampon's gonna take your virginity, and like you need to be a virgin. And I was like, Mom, everybody wears tampons, and she was like, there's no way.
I didn't wear tampons, but I don't think
was a
that was the
choice.
excuse that was given to me. I don't think that you believe that, right?
But they used to
Mommy
say
went.
that. I remember they
They-
used to
yeah,
say
it's
that.
Really?
Yes.
So you two had the.
They used to say that.
I've never heard that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I mean, like people are like, yeah.
People are like,
yes, yes.
Really?
Yes.
So then I would walk around with something going shh, 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 and I was
Oh.
like, I hate this. Like I don't want.
You need the pins.
I needed the pins. So I called one of my cousins, and I was, obviously I'm a little kid. Like, I was like 13 maybe. And I was like, I want to wear tampons. She's like, I can't do that to your mom. Like, your mom didn't let me wear tampons when I was a child, you know? Yeah. So then maybe like 2 years passed, and obviously I was, like, you go to the store or whatever. I hid it for a little bit, and then,
it shows you like on the thing how to insert it and whatever.
I mean, it was a struggle fest in the beginning. Like,
comment below if you guys have ever heard that whole like tampons take away your virginity thing.
It's I mean, still till this day, my mom's like, please. And now that I'm like, Mom, it's like studies show that it doesn't take your tampon away. She goes, it's just not healthy. And I'm like, okay, it went from your virginity to not healthy now. Like, that was
That's really interesting. It's like the cultural thing. Yeah, but that's also a cultural thing too.
And religion is like,
So that is so interesting. So my experience, and I thank God that you told me a long time ago. This is gonna happen. I think it must have been like 6 or 7 when you told me. Like,
I thought you got it at 6 or 7.
Heck no, I was 12, 2 weeks before I turned 13, and I came home and I was like, oh, this is it. I was expecting it, and I was just like, okay. And I remember feeling so comfortable at home that my dad is actually the one who went out and got it from Rite Aid. I told him, I was like, Mommy, this happened. She was like, Papi went, got it, brought it back, and it was the end of that. And it was I think that when you take away the tabooness of it, it lessens the fear, it lessens the shame about the whole thing. So, guys, again,
I'm actually interested in everyone else's experience.
Yeah, I would love to hear. We get to share our experiences, and it really alleviates there's shame around something that is so natural. Yeah. And I have 2 girls, and I would hope that they always have aunties, cousins, women in their lives that they can go to talk about things. If they don't feel comfortable with me, I hope they feel comfortable with me. But if they don't, this is a sisterhood. Yeah. Sharing is caring, and there's actually so much power in sharing your experience with the fellow sister.
Yeah, my kids are going to know you are going to get a period, and the choice is yours. You either want to stick this up or you want to take this to your underwear. Like,
safety pin.
This is yours.
Yeah.
When I got my period, my mom's like, make sure you wrap it in a toilet paper.
Not to show anybody.
And I'm like, Mom.
I taught them to put it into
the pad that it came.
Only because it's nasty to see something like that.
I get it, but because it's nasty.
It's nasty.
I get because it's nasty. I'm saying that, like, even if I was living alone or something, my mom would be like, make sure you roll it so you know, like,
nobody has to look at it.
Know that you're on your period.
Yeah.
Kids may not always listen to everything that you say, but they get the gist of what you're saying. Right, Bo?
Yeah.
What do you see? What happens?
Okay, so it's like a little bloody sting.
Mm-hmm.
When you pee, there's blood.
Yeah.
And you like need pads.
And you need pads?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that happens to every girl? Yeah, and when you hit a certain age, right? And everybody has a different age that they receive it. But it's completely normal and healthy, right?
A period is when a girl starts to bleed, and it happens every month, and there's like this certain schedule or something.
It's just part of the puberty process, right?
Yeah. And it means you can have a baby, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cutie.
How old were you when you learned about the birds and the bees?
What do you mean learned?
I don't even remember.
Did your mom ever sit you down and talk to you about?
No.
My mom's face though?
Mine? Whatever I lived over there in high school with my girlfriends. All I know that the first time that a guy touched me,
he touched you and then
like that, and he rubbed against me, his body, I was so scared.
You thought you were pregnant?
Yeah. I said, oh my God, I'm gonna get pregnant.
Titi.
Yes! Can you believe that?
I didn't even get it. It's so sad though.
I was so scared.
Tito, oh my God.
And Tito, with Tito.
So she never told, did she take a pregnancy test? Oh my God.
It's so crazy.
They have pregnancy tests at that time.
So what you do, you just lived And
And then,
That's a period
I
next
never, went beyond being kissing or holding, nothing beyond that, not being alone with a guy.
Because God forbid you didn't know how to.
Yeah,
get pregnant.
and I became, more aware.
So that whole time
okay.
she
So
thought
you
she
never
might have been
talked to your
pregnant.
mom?
No, I never
Are you
did.
kidding
I
me?
never
No,
did.
and
that's
a boy
like
never
hugged
did.
you. It's okay, no?
Yeah, because,
Those things weren't spoken about.
yeah.
it's...
Whatever you did outside the house, there was never in my case and in our case.
Yeah.
We had an amazing mom, a single
yes.
mom. She raised 4 of us in New York and 2 boys, 2 girls, and we never got in trouble. She was very, very, very militant, if I want to use that word.
Because when you were in the 1950s, to be a single mom, a Puerto Rican single mom, it was not easy.
Yeah.
Not the norm.
So no, it wasn't the norm. Nothing was ever spoken. The only thing that was spoken and taught was clean the house, clean your underwear, make sure you're clean. You don't leave the house
In that
dirt
order.
yeah.
In that order.
Right,
In that order.
Those were the things. It was almost like the domestic kind of things that were taught
Yeah.
to you, and self-care as far as being clean and
Yeah.
taking care of yourself. Those were the most important things. Stay a virgin. Make sure that you love God with all of your heart. I mean, everything was just nothing else when it came to reality, if you want to say real life experiences, were ever spoken about.
So there was no bochinche in the Lori side.
There was kind of bochinche, but you heard it.
You stayed
from
far.
behind.
Between them,
You stayed far from the
Yes,
bochinche.
Because now we love the cheese.
You don't. You weren't allowed to participate in any of those conversations. So that's
wild.
another thing.
Yeah.
So no,
So you didn't have, and so how did you find out about the birds and the bees? Friends in school?
friends in schools and in school and you never came home and said to your mom, "Hey mom, I heard
I
this
found
and this
out
in
about
school."
this really cool
Oh
thing.
my God, I would never, ever, no.
Yeah.
Did you have a conversation?
Yeah, my mom told me. She sat down, gave me a book about my changing body, and then she sat down and said, "This is what happens."
Crazy.
And it's great because I'm doing the same thing with Jet. I sat down, we have tons of books. There are certain chapters that I keep the book with me in a private, because I feel like I want to control when she receives that, but it's going to be through me that she receives that, so that if someone misinforms her, one of her friends, someone, because that's how it happens, she'll know that she can always come to me to receive the truth, or she can say, that's actually not how it happens. Mommy sat with me with a book to show me different things, because I want her to always, I pray that she comes to me asking me if there's anything that she's, curious about, and I really do try to not have a face of judgment. I always joke, listen, you always try to do better than the last generation.
Your mother-in-law actually told us that.
Yeah, it's so important.
So true.
Miss Edwards told us, you want your kids to be better than you.
Yeah, mommy
Oh,
always
yeah.
says
I was like,
that
actually, I'm
all the
unsure,
time.
but
Yeah,
okay,
there was-
like-
Every generation should be better than
Better.
this.
Yeah.
The mistakes of our mothers,
Yeah.
we should not
Repeat.
repeat.
Yeah.
They should have been a lesson to us.
Yes.
I'm 28 years old and I've never had the conversation with my mother, but I feel like my mom, when I was growing up, I was terrified of my mom.
Really?
Like terrified of my mom. I just
You adore your mom. That's so
no,
interesting.
I know, right? Which is so crazy because I had a closer relationship, but I had a really good relationship with her sister and her mother, that they were kind of like my go-tos for everything, which they also wouldn't even give me this conversation, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Eliza will just be like, you're smart, you know what to do, But my mom was like a tyrant when we were growing up.
Really?
Yeah, which is so crazy now because that's my whole world, my best friend. Anything that happens, I'm like, why would I tell my friend over my mom? My mom will always have my back till the day I die. So recently, my aunts were talking about their sex life, whatever, and my aunt goes, Auntie Hala, she was like, sorry, Lana, and my mom goes, come on, don't act like my daughter doesn't know about sex. And I was like, I don't know what I know. I was so uncomfortable. I was like,
That is so
whatever. But it was it made me even more uncomfortable hearing them talk about it. So I get why they didn't want to talk to me about it, because nobody wants to visualize like
No, of course not.
but like hearing my older aunts talk about thing and then them apologizing to me as if I didn't know. My mom's like, she's a grown adult, like
Yeah, I'm
you
sure
know,
she knows.
yeah,
Yeah.
plenty, but you know what I'm saying, like. So now we
Yeah.
have like open conversations where I'm like, but telling her stuff, and
Yeah.
my mom's like, oh God, please, can you
That
just?
is so.
Yes.
I wonder how I'm gonna react to that because I
Well, Jet kind of came up to you about the Sims thing, remember?
Oh, this is funny. I can't remember the exact.
She said, I know how babies are made.
That's right. And you remember what she
And
said?
I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God.
And I was like, how? This is before we sat down because I did have that
Yeah.
conversation with her. But she sat down and she said, Mommy, I know that you have to go under the covers to have a baby, to make a baby. And I
And
was
we
like,
all were like, what? Where'd you get that? I was like, no, those kids are teaching her bad things.
No. And it was actually a game,
Sims.
Sims, and they go under the covers and then they come out pregnant. Like,
And we were like, oh
and
my
I was
God.
like, oh man, yeah, which brings on a whole thing of like social media, gaming, and all that information.
You don't want your kids to learn online.
And that is exactly why. You want to be the source of the information so that they come to you and they get to ask you those things. And again, this is just my opinion, but I think it does go a long way when you have these conversations with your kids.
The same way you preparing Jet for the next phase of her life.
Yep.
It's the same thing that we have to do with our daughters as well when they're going to go into the phase of perimenopause
Yeah.
and menopause.
And again, I asked my mother all these things that I was going through, and I was like, Mommy, I'm going through so much. And I was like, something made me ask her, Mommy, did you have, when did you start menopause? Like, when did you start perimenopause? And she's like, well, I was around 40. And I'm like,
Girl, you could have saved those, all those doctor's appointments, all those things. I'm gonna tell Jared to bill your insurance instead.
Yeah, you still have to go, but what and so in a certain way, I failed.
you didn't
not
fail.
No.
I don't like
Listen,
that
guys,
word.
you don't like this word, but it didn't dawn on me
Yeah.
that she would go through it that early like I did.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. And so
Yeah.
what I did for her before she got her period, I should have done for her before
I'm
she
still
went
your
into
daughter.
you know?
Jeez.
And so,
You abandoned you.
and I am such an advocate for informing women because
Yeah.
when I saw my mother going through menopause, I didn't know. I would see her emotionally crying and really being just unhappy, and I didn't know what was happening to her.
And it's so funny, I always hear this from all my friends, that their mothers were over like washing dishes crying.
Yes, and we didn't know
And no
what
one
was
knew
happening.
anything.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't dare ask. In my case,
Yeah.
you just said, I wonder what happened. And so so I think that now your generation is gonna know a little better and gonna know, hey, when my daughter's 39,
I'm gonna be like, listen,
sit down and mama.
she's gonna have to watch this episode of Clotting Down.
Yeah,
But anyway,
it's so true.
yes.
We got a long way to go with Jetty. 30 more years.
Yeah, but they fly by very quickly.
They do.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for chit-chatting with me in La
That
Sala.
was
What are
fun.
we calling it?
It was
Sala
fun.
de Bochinch?
This is
La Sala de
fun.
Bochinch.
Change.
Yeah.
It's a little-
Bochinche is my favorite word that I ever learned.
Bochinche.
And
So
I'm
we call
like-
it Sala Chinch.
Salad change.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for watching another episode of Clot & Co. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and what?
Comment below.
Comment below and follow us on Instagram.
And tell us your stories.
Now watch all the pan the room to see all the guys that we made uncomfortable. Hi, Lugo.
Let me get that for you. Give me that for you.
Yes.
He's gonna do it for himself.
Nico.
Nico. This is the crew.
Why am I the first person you ask for when you come here?
Shut up, because I love you.